welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Melissa Valito and you can find me on Instagram as well as TikTok. I also upload here on YouTube Shorts. I am a beauty, baking, fashion, and lifestyle content creator, as well as a mom to my almost 2-year-old. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I achieve this glam that has been my go-to recently, and it's actually foundationless, while also sprinkling in a couple of big life updates. Let's get into it. We're starting off strong with the Embryolisse moisturizer. I like to start off with my brows while I let my skincare soak in. This is a product that has been a holy grail of mine since the first time I used it. This is the Ardell Brow Glue, and if you guys have really stubborn brow hairs like me, then I highly recommend giving this product a try. You want to do one brow at a time because this stuff does dry down very quickly. And then I'll just lay down the hairs with this little brush that it comes with. You want to really make sure to clean up the excess glue around your brows. I wonder what time it is. Jordan and Bianca are taking their nap right now, and they should be waking up soon, so they might make a little appearance. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit unsure of what I want to do with my base makeup today because I have been doing a no foundation makeup routine recently, but I kind of do want to do a full beat. So until I decide, I'm going to keep this momentum going with my brows and go in with one of my holy grails that I shared on my Instagram stories recently, and that is the Lancome All Over Concealer. And I'm just going to start off shaping out the bottom part of my brows before I fill them in. If you saw my stories talking about this concealer, then I'm just gonna sound like a broken record, but this concealer is truly like a second skin, and I highly recommend making sure that you get as close to a perfect color match as you possibly can, because that will make it or break it in blending in with your skin seamlessly. Okay, now that the bottom is carved out, I'm gonna go in and fill in my brows with the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. I honestly think this might be a product that I used in my last makeup tutorial YouTube video, and that was like 2 years ago. So this is how you know that this is a product that I truly love. This is definitely a product that you kind of have to give yourself some time to get through the learning curve, because how good it looks is completely dependent on how perfect you get the little hair flicks. You kind of have to be light-handed so that they look more realistic. So I've made up my mind. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do a foundationless base routine for this video because it's truly just what I've been doing recently. So why not share with you guys what has been my go-to base routine for the past like 2 months. So a little makeup artist tip is that I'm not bringing the concealer right up underneath my eyes. I'm leaving space so that when the concealer dries, it doesn't dry in my under eye creases. So my chin is an area that tends to be very red. So I apply a generous amount there. Here under my nose, I'll bring it down my nose and then my forehead. So I am gonna even bring it over top of my brows. Before, I would use a brighter one under my brows and then bring my foundation over the top part of my brows. But since I've been staying on the more just like natural soft glam side where I'm not overly brightening my under eye, I can just use the same concealer for both. Okay, before I start blending out, for reference, here is the places that I like to apply my concealer. Basically like the T-zone area, which also tends to be the parts of my face that tend to get the most red. You guys might see me reaching for this brush like a lot. I'll use it to carve out my brows. I'll use it to apply foundation. I use it for a lot of different things, and this is the Sigma E60 large shader brush. So when it doesn't have all this product on it, it's a lot fluffier, but when it has product out on it, it flattens out really nicely, and I can use it for a lot of different things. So this is one of my go-to brushes. I have like 3 or 4 of them. And now to start blending out this concealer, I'm gonna reach for my IT Cosmetics double-ended brush. I love to use this little small side to blend out my concealer. Bianca is about to be 2 in just 4 months. March, April, May. No, oh my God, just kidding. 3 months. Bianca's about to be 2 in 3 months, and honestly, where has the time gone? Pre-having a baby or just becoming a mom, if you don't really do anything significant, weeks, months can kind of blend into one. But when you have a child and they're consistently hitting those 2-week, monthly milestones, you kind of get a sense of really how quickly time is flying by. Okay, I'm actually gonna apply a little bit more to my chin. When I'm going for a more natural and quick makeup look, I would skip this step. But like I said, I am feeling a full glam. I just don't want to apply foundation, so we're just gonna build up this concealer. If you saw my last video, you know that I did struggle with postpartum depression, and that was a really tough time. And I am really grateful to have gotten through that really tough time period. And with Bianca approaching 2, your girl is getting that itch to have a second. And what perfect timing. Is that my baby?
Why is it perfect timing?
My babies, because I was talking about you guys. Hi, baby. Did you have a good nap with your dad? Look at that sleepy head. What you got there? You got mommy's milk blush? Okay, I'm gonna take a little break and get this little girl ready to go on a hike with her dad, and we'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Let's finish up this makeup and pick up where we left off. I started doing my bronzer. My go-to is this Makeup Forever HD Skin palette. I use the bronzer out of this palette more than anything else, to be honest, because I just really love how creamy it is, lightweight it is. And then to apply it, I'm using the Rare Beauty brush. So where were we? I'm just kidding. I remember. I was telling you guys about having that itch to have the second baby. And I don't know, some of you might be thinking, like, aren't you scared after going through postpartum depression with your first baby? And part of me, yes, is a little nervous, but a bigger part of me feels like, no. It can be different for every mom. And for me, I feel like it personally came from having to adjust to my new life. Like, going from no kids to 1 kid, they say, is a lot bigger of an adjustment than going from having 1 to having 2. It really is just like such a big change to your lifestyle beforehand. And I feel like now that I'm 2 years in, they say it takes 2 years for you to start feeling like back to normal, whatever that new normal is as a mom. And I fully agree with that statement. I really feel like I'm entering my super mom era, and it's really exciting. So why not add another baby into the mix? You know what I mean? Jordan and I together, honestly, are just getting really good at this whole parenting thing. So baby number 2 very well may be a part of our 2025. I feel like this happens to me every time I film a YouTube video, and honestly it's just muscle memory because I don't really use a primer every single day. But on top of my Embryolisse cream, if I do want to use a primer, I'm going to use the Smashbox Original Photo Finish Primer, and it really helps fill in those visible pores. So I'll normally just apply a little bit like right here and then on my nose, and then whatever's left over I'll put on my forehead and my chin. That's it. Another product that I've been loving for years now is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I ran out of it and I didn't repurchase it for a while, but I got it gifted again, so she's back in my go-to routine. It also smells like expensive, so whenever you use it, it feels like you're at a spa. So I know a lot of the girlies aren't using beauty blenders anymore these days, or like sponges, but I am still very much a sponge girly, especially when it comes to underneath my eyes. I don't want too much product underneath my eyes, so I'm less likely to crease. Like, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but do you see how glowy my skin looks? I haven't used too much product, but just with what I've used so far, my skin looks so glowy, so hydrated. Obsessed. Okay, because I am feeling a little brighter of an under eye today, I'm going to use my Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. For blush, now this is a new fave of mine. This is Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. What is this called though? This is Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush. So it applies like a cream, and then as you blend it out, it turns into a powdery formula. It also has a blurring effect. This stuff, I cannot stop raving about it. I cannot stop talking about how good it is because it is truly just that good. So let me just show you guys. You don't need too much. You want to go light with this stuff. This stuff is very pigmented. So I kind of do just 2 little dots on the highest point of my cheekbones. And then I'll just blend it out. You can just kind of see it turn into more of a powdery consistency. I'm also going to apply a little bit to my nose. Little pro makeup tip is, I've always done this, but whenever I'm blending out that concealer, I like to kind of create this illusion of a line with the concealer, because then I'll use that later on for my eyeliner and it kind of gives a very snatched and lifted eye effect. So a little secret to long-lasting makeup and flawless makeup is setting spray in between your layers. You can do it really as many times as you want, but even just once is going to make a huge difference before you go in with powders. So I'm using the Milani Make It Last Original setting spray. This is a super affordable option. Another really good one that's a little bit pricier but totally worth the coin is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I'm running low on this one, so we're gonna use my Milani today. Before I go into the powders, actually, I'm going to really quickly dip back into my HD Skin palette. I love to use my bronzer on my eyelids because I feel like it gives a very cohesive look to your makeup. And then I like to use my bronzer to also kind of contour my eyes. And again, placement is everything. So the way that I'm applying it is all over my eyelid and then following that same line that I did with my concealer. I'm also following it with my bronzer and I'm just kind of going right underneath my eyebrow. And then just kind of in through the crease of my eye. So I'm creating a lifted eye effect again. Today I won't be using my Fit Me powder, even though I got it in the right shade again, because Huda Beauty's powder is just so good and I got used to its quality and its finish. And instead, to brighten my under eye afterwards, I go with the Too Faced Born This Way press powder, and it kind of helps me brighten up my under eyes. You guys will see how it all comes together. So I know that my last life update was quite significant, so nothing is really gonna top that, but I also wanted to talk to you guys about what kind of videos I want to do here on YouTube. So I love doing these sit down, get ready with me, chit chat, like makeup videos. And beauty and makeup is truly just my first love in terms of content creating. But you know, I'd also be interested in experimenting with some like vlog style videos. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing. It really does matter to me if you guys enjoy that kind of video, that type of content, and if it's something that you'd like to see from me, or if I should just stick to makeup. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm also setting my T-zone area. The brush I'm using, by the way, is the Real Techniques setting brush. The two brushes that are my go-to for this step is this one and then the one from Ariel's eyeshadow brush set. I don't know where it is. I think it got dirty and I have it somewhere in my bathroom, but that's normally my go-to brush for this step. You want something nice and fluffy like this for this step that isn't gonna be too dense and isn't gonna pick up product. Okay, moving on to bronzer. I am ashamed to admit that I think this is the exact same pressed powder bronzer that I used in my go-to GLAM video that I made like 2 years ago. You guys, this is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Pressed Powder Bronzer. We haven't just hit pan at this point. We've like surpassed it. There's barely any product left, but hear me out. I have looked for this product at every place that carries it, which is normally like a Walmart or a Target, and they're always sold out. Literally just the other week, I went to a Walmart and I thought I found it, or I did find it, but I thought I picked up the right shade, but I didn't. Like this is like at least a shade or two lighter. I might just end up gifting it to someone. I will be using her until I no longer can. And for brushes, when it comes to my bronzer, I'm always using different brushes, but I do really like this one because it's like an angled flat brush. It's like the perfect shape for where I want to bronze my face. This is the Cinema Secrets A85 brush. So I will be dipping back into this bronzer for my eyelids, and I'm just following that same shape that I did when I applied the cream bronzer onto my eyelids. I always start in the outer corner of my eye, and then I bring it out underneath my tail of my eyebrow, and then I'll just bring it into the inner corner of my eye. I always do the same process, no matter what eyeshadow look I'm doing. That first base color, I always start on the outside, create that like line, that very subtle line, and then bring it in over my eyelid. Okay, so I don't know why, but my eyes are actually creasing a little bit, which really does not happen. I think it's because I was feeling confident and mixed these two concealers. They are my favorite concealers, but I normally don't use them together. And maybe this is what happens when I use them together. Luckily, I'm not going anywhere, and now I know that these two should not be mixed together. I'm quickly skipping through this eye look that I'm doing right now because I recently uploaded a video doing my signature eye look. I've named it the Soft Siren Eyes. I've uploaded them here on YouTube as a short, on Instagram, and on TikTok. So you guys can go watch that video if you want to try achieving my signature siren eyes. Here's a little close-up of the eye look. The lashes that I'm wearing are this set from Amazon, and they do come in the full length, and I just cut them into half lashes. I normally also apply mascara on my lower lash line, which I haven't done yet because we need to finish up this face. I am gonna go in with this Patrick Ta blush, which is this most gorgeous pinky shade. I find that the cream blush of this blush duo is very light, so that's why I kind of just like to use the powder over top of the Danessa Myricks blush, because I find that the powder shows up more. And I'm just following that along my entire cheekbone and underneath my eye, since this is such a light pink. And I'm going to go back over with my light pressed powder that's gonna make everything just kind of blend in together beautifully and give me like almost like a really nice subtle pink under eye. Now that I look like a little cute rosy pink filter, I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced pressed powder. This is in shade Translucent, and this stuff is also very pigmented. It can go on heavy if you apply too much. All you need is just a little bit on the end of your triangle powder puff, and then you're just gonna press that in right underneath your eyes. And then I also like to use it to kind of contour my nose, like reverse contour my nose. And I really just keep it up close underneath my eye. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but this actually did help with my under eye creasing, so we love that. I'm gonna use also just literally 2 little taps and go back over my T-zone area that I had lightly set earlier. And then also just dip in just a little tip of the triangle powder puff and use it to contour my nose or highlight my nose. Are you girlies still highlighting these days? Because I am, and I feel like a lot of people don't anymore, but I love a good highlight. And because I am still such a blush girly, I love to use this Ofra collab with Nikki Tutorials highlighter. This is in shade Cloud 9, so it looks like a white icy highlighter on camera, but it actually has a pink undertone and it comes out really pink and pretty. Let me show you in real time. I always get compliments when I wear this highlighter because it's just so stunning. Let me show you. I hope you guys can see it on camera. Oh yeah, you guys can definitely see that. To highlight the rest of my face, I'm going to reach for another Ofra highlighter. This is more gold highlighter in shade The Hills. And I like to use this highlighter for underneath my brow and to highlight my nose. So I just like to tap it out with my finger. Now for the lip combo, I absolutely love the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. I'm honestly probably reaching for these or a MAC lip liner almost every time I do my lips. So I'm first going in with shade 600 Anywhere Caffeine. I like to use 2 lip liners to really make my lips pop. So that's the lighter shade that I use first, and then I go in with a darker shade, and this is shade 506 Endless Cacao. And I'm just gonna use this lip liner to really define that outer line of my lips and make them stand out. Out of my entire drawer of lipsticks that I own, this has to be my most used lipstick. This is the YSL Rose Volupte Shine. I honestly don't know what shade this is. I'm gonna try and find it and link it below with all the other products that I'm using. But you can really see that this has been used. My phone died just as I was applying my lip combo, but basically I just tap on this YSL lipstick and this is what we got. I also cleaned up my lip liner with that same flat brush that I said to you guys that I use all the time just to get that like really professionally done makeup look. And that is it for this look. Since I'm not going anywhere, I'm not gonna apply any setting spray, but I'll bring you guys in a little closer to see a little close-up of this glam. She is so smooth, so flawless. This is without foundation. You can almost see my natural freckles poking through out here because I did do such a natural glam, but it covers what it needs to cover. If you stayed to the end, thank you for being a real supporter, and I hope you subscribe and stick around for more videos to come. I know I've said this countless times, but I'm really feeling 2025 is going to be the year that I get into long form content here on YouTube. And again, I would love your feedback. Let me know what other kind of videos you'd love to see from me. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.